I'm not going to let you guys make me cry because I have too much pride in what I do. Oh shit, are we starting? Okay.
Oscar level performance going on.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy, but not my teammates on Bootleggers who accuse me of not doing anything, which is true. But I do have a lot of things I need to do for Patreon that I haven't done.
Nope, wrong one. Nope. Writer one.
How many drinks?
There we go. Streaming's easy. So I think that whatever we were saying at the start of the stream.
We should go back to it, right? That was a practice round.
I think the audio was coming through this time, from what I could tell. So good thing we didn't say anything too terrible, guys.
Not on camera.
Keep that in mind. So this is, first of all, I blame the new OBS because OBS just updated, and the old system of advanced audio properties where you could like set the output and set the monitor device, it's gone. Now there's just a little icon for monitor versus mute, which is dumb. So I blame that. And then second of all, I lost my second point, so welcome to the stream.
We'd like to announce that Eric is working with us today.
Yeah, Eric, our wonderful artist, which I hope many of you had the chance to meet or appreciate his artwork at TPF, is on the stream with us today. We also currently have Ernie and Kyle Smut, and Aaron's running late, and Alex is running late, and Jeff might be here. So, as normal, we're all here. Yeah, so anyways, TPF recap.
Oh, yeah.
We had the game at TPF. We got, what did Alex say, 100 or 200?
250 plays.
250 plays?
Shout out to Manbear Pig. You got the high score.
Next to Alex. Second highest score.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. We learned a lot. You know, we go into this process thinking these are some shots that are going to be fun. These are some shots that are going to be a little harder. This is one that might brick a little bit. And we tested in the garage here, but then we take it to TPF and we really see where people are
Yep.
hitting good shots, hitting good, hitting the flow, and then we're seeing where we're bricking out. So we've taken a lot of stuff back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see players of all different skill levels like step up to the game and flip it, and you can really get an appreciation for like where we're a little bit off, where we can improve, and also where we've nailed it. Like there was some really great feedback about our left ramp and the overall flow of the game. I think there was a lot of good feedback there. A lot of people said it's fast and brutal, which is kind of what we're going for. And we also saw where there's shots like straight up the center where it rattled a little bit. So we kind of went back to the drawing board on that, as well as the right ramp to help improve that geometry. So it should shoot a little bit better. Unfortunately, I'm not near my Fusion 360 right now, so I can't like show you those changes, but maybe next stream I can kind of walk through those. And then a few other like just minor geometry changes about like the jail loop, like that little turnaround shot up there. It was, if you shot the right side, it would like whip it right down the middle. So like adjusting the angle of that wall a little bit so it feeds your left flipper instead of down the middle. And same with the right side exit of that, instead of like going way off over to the right towards that target. With some of the changes we've made with posts and everything, now that's going to feed your right flipper. So those two kind of like pass back and forth between the flippers. So yeah, just like little tweaks to walls and entrance angles and exit angles and making it shoot a little bit better. We're going to kind of bastardize this prototype here to confirm those changes, but I already have most of them in CAD, so making quick progress on that. But we need to get that buttoned up so that we can proceed with what we're doing on today's stream, is going through kind of the artwork for the playfield. And Aaron needs admittance.
So we finally settled on a few modes that we really like, but we really want to combine those modes with the art and the theme, the heart and soul of Bootleggers. We have an idea, a story that we want to present, and we want to integrate that as well as we can into the pinball format.
Yep. So I know, like, in our Discord amongst the team, we had like thrown a bunch of ideas out there as far as like character placement, and then kind of trying to brainstorm like tying locations to shots. Mm-hmm. And I know, Nick, you had taken a stab at the character side, and Kyle had taken a stab at the location side. So kind of want to talk through those while we have Eric on the call here and start to kind of rough out what the layout is from an art perspective.
Sweet.
So I don't really have a plan here.
Whoa, weird.
I guess let's start with our characters.
Shots
we have 10
fired.
main characters. We have 4 good guys, 4 bad guys, and 2 feds or something like that. The count doesn't matter, but we have 10 main characters, half good, half bad, and we want to tie them to certain shots on our playfield that kind of makes sense for the character. I feel right off the bat, are we streaming the playfield or?
Yep, it's up there.
So we have this jail cell loop, and I feel right off the bat, the Fed and the local cop, those are the shots that are going to align with those characters. We kind of think that this right-hand section with the skill shot, the candy cane, the drop target, that's going to be our main speakeasy, or the Mafia hideout, depending on how tonight goes. But we're thinking that's going to be a main area, and then up here, over here, on the right, not the ramp shot, but right next to it, we have this kickback. And we're thinking that that's like an aggressive bad guy target. So we're thinking maybe Al Capone goes there.
I mean, both of the Mafia goons could be on the same shot. They don't have to be like individual shots. So if we have a super in-your-face shot, you could just say, here's the Mafia shot.
Yeah. The
Maybe
only
we could
thing...
use an insert to highlight which one it is. I think maybe you go through the first level of
That's true.
like it's just a goon, and then the next level's whatever, and then the next level's Al
Oh yeah,
Capone.
you level up to the mob boss. I like that.
Yep.
But then we were thinking hanging like a bash toy here for the jump ramp to hit above the VUC. And we were thinking we had some good concept art of Cooter McGee here throwing a barrel.
Good old Cooter.
That would be really fun to nail with some balls. So we were thinking over here would be a good idea for a bash target. You know, a lot of the shots kind of speak for themselves, like the kickback for the bad guy. I was thinking the left orbit here would be our main Reed Walker shot. Like the left orbit is one of the flowiest shots in the game. It's nice and open. I feel like that's like a good start, a good base for a strong main character.
Agreed, and I feel like your mains from the protagonist standpoint should be like your orbits, your ramps, things of that nature. Your antagonists should be like your aggressive shots that whip back at you, or your kickbacks, that kind of thing. And then from there, you kind of can start to tie like a location to those characters too.
When I like,
And then like,
oh, sorry.
go ahead, Ernie.
I was gonna say,
Hey guys, Ernie's talking. Hold on.
yeah, sorry, I raised my hand.
No, he's
I
not
like-
Kyle. We don't have to like stop the press and like, oh, Kyle's talking.
I
Because
like
they
our
would have
Lord and
stopped on
Savior.
their own, you know.
I like how Smet.
Hey, did you guys see at TPF that I won a bunch of stuff? Did you guys see that?
I like how Smet had in his ideas the ramps and a couple of the shots for like the main road, so for travel. So maybe that's an
Yeah,
additional.
I like that.
I
a
love
lot,
that. Like
yeah.
like the backwoods road shot or whatever. Like I love the idea of, because it was back roads or backwoods distilling that was happening back in Prohibition.
So with that backwoods theme, we were actually talking about one of our original things was having a roadblock. And so we were thinking about putting a drop post right here to block that orbit shot and have it drain down the, or not drain, but go down the middle as opposed to completing the orbit as, hey, like you got the shot blocked, you got to go around.
That's
That's
cool.
a great idea. That's a good idea.
Very narrative. Very narrative.
And
Yeah,
it fits with the original like concept of the game. I was either thinking about putting a magnet up there or an up post, and Kai was like, we should use an up post for something else up there to feed a subway. And I was like, well, on the back side of the up post, we can use it as a roadblock too.
I think we might need both, and here's why. And I feel like who am I thinking of? Like a YouTube, like, oh, and here's why. Anyways,
Explain yourself.
but for the post, so hopefully you guys can see where my finger is. Yeah, you guys see that?
It's really small on the teams. That's right. I'm trying to
Okay.
kind of designate where we are on mine because it's got a little bit
top
bigger.
right
on
corner.
each area.
Yeah, so upper right, right above where the current kickback location is. Some of the changes are like this is now going to be angled over this way, so it's a better shot entrance or shot angle coming in. But right here is where there's going to be like an entrance for our ball lock for the truck. So to stop the ball from either the right orbit or the left orbit, what I had planned on doing is putting just a Williams Valley up post, like a metal up post back here where my finger is. And based on its proximity to this wall, a ball riding on that wall would be deflected downwards into this location. So that has to be roughly right above the hole so that you can capture it from both sides. If we want to do a roadblock, that needs to be more so over this side in order for us to stop the ball and drop it. We could still do a up post or we can do a magnet. Doesn't really matter. I think from a perspective of open source and trying to make this
Post
a learning opportunity for people,
Or
a magnet could be useful so we can kind of teach people on like pulses and everything like that.
fun idea for the magnet. A lot of people set up upper flipper shots with a magnet. What if we put the magnet at the top right here, and depending on how it falls, it could feed the center or it could feed back to the upper flipper.
Yeah, I mean, we could put it right at the top of the arch if we wanted to. And then maybe, I mean, it might be stupid, but player could even nudge the machine to try to get it go one way or another. But that's maybe a little bit of a pipe dream to get that kind of control there. But anyways,
We'll see.
back
They
to
have that
thematic
magnet.
integration.
They have one of those magnets in Dune. It's closer to the flipper in that left orbit coming down, but it'll like grab the ball and flash a flasher to let you know it's letting it go.
Yep.
It's very helpful for like new players to really dial in those upper flipper shots.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah, and looking at it from like a flow standpoint, I think that we have the ability to feed the upper flipper from either of the bottom by shooting kind of up the center. So I do like in the games, like the game that I've designed prior to this. Sorry, I can't say plural. I'm not Ernie. If there are upper flippers,
Enforcement.
I want you. Shh, he doesn't need a bigger head. I want you to be able to feed the upper flipper from either of the lower flippers. Give the player control, give the player choice.
So we got the speakeasy, we got Al Capone. We were hoping for like a mob boss area or like the mafia zone. We're trying to figure out how to centralize that because we kind of got a bash target over here and the mob boss over here right now. And then we have the jail cell, which is absolutely, that's bolted down.
Yeah, the jail cell is going to be a fun ball lock.
Is Cooter McGee part of the mafia? He's not part of the mafia, is he?
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah,
henchman.
he is.
Oh,
He's the fixer, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, my bad.
So
So somebody
he's our
from the-
bash toy.
So the original idea, we had like a turntable or like a diverter here that passed the ball from the fast feed from the left flipper to the right flipper, and I was thinking like logically, two drips Frankie, two drips Martinelli. He's the cross, the double crosser. He would change the ball path from the left to the right flipper as kind of like a double cross to you. And we kind of cut that functionality from the game to smooth out some of the shots. So we kind of lost that. But I was thinking maybe the Frankie two drips Martinelli might be the up the middle shot, because it's depending on where it goes, or it's
fair.
So do we have a Miro up, or a Discord showing what Kyle posted?
I can bring a Miro up right now. We are seeing the garage, and
hey, Kyle. Normally we don't like to hear you talk, but I really want to hear your idea for the mafia, the mob boss area over in the bottom right.
So, what I like about stuff like this, right? So I am a cinephile. I like to watch movies and stuff. So to me, it's all driven by the story, but at the same time, it's also driven by the characters. So I think of The Big Lebowski or any kind of Coen's Brothers movie where the plot is almost irrelevant to the characters. The characters just take front and center, and you either identify with them, you think they're out of their mind, you're not sure what they're doing, they're funny, they're weird. That's kind of where I'm at with this game. So, I always talk about plot, blah, blah, blah. But I think that the plot will kind of find itself once we have really given the characters their voice. And like I said on Discord, I'm indifferent where those characters are. So I did have the Mafia Den kind of hanging out in the lower right-hand portion. The jail obviously is up there. I do like games that will give you a path to the different ball paths, like a visual cue. And I like roads. Thinking, back roads, Prohibition, we're either on kind of rough 1920s era roads or shortcuts and back roads, right? So I do like taking one of those ball paths, and that's kind of like the shortcut, wrought with danger, and there's like weird shit going on. But then the other ball paths are more conventional roads, and along this kind of overhead map, you have your characters. And again, man, I am indifferent whether Cooter McGee is at the lower left or the upper corner. It just kind of makes sense with how the game is laid out. So the jail, yeah, there's your ball lock. There was kind of a hidey hole over on the right, which is why I had put the Mafia there. What else did I do? So keeping the Mafia dudes together, Al Capone, Cooter. Now, if we're gonna have like a Cooter Bash toy, we can have him wherever. And I know Nick, you had some ideas about having a couple of speakeasies hidden around the playfield, which I think is a fantastic idea. Rather
every
than
fuck is gonna be a speakeasy.
Yeah, dude, that is spot on. And in my mind, I'm like, well, here's the speakeasy, but there were several. It's almost like the Underground Railroad. Like there were speakeasies all over the place. So I love the fact
inserts for those speakeasies too, like the little bean shaped, or like the oblong bean. That'll be our speakeasy insert to let you know where it's at.
So you put Mabel, who's the bartender, next to the main speakeasy. You put Cooter kind of wherever he fits. I liked one person that you have to break out of jail. So Tommy McCoy, whether he's like the idiot or he's always in trouble or he's always picking fights, he gets caught in jail and you have to bust him out of jail. Clarence Holloway, who's the Fed, you could put him somewhere. Maybe you're not sure if he's on your side or he's like fighting you or kind of like a frenemy. Anyway, two drips, you can have him next to Al Capone and stuff. Anyway, so there you go. So I do like kind of co-locating all of the different characters where it makes sense with the playfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and like you mentioned for the jail, and you have the one like local sheriff where you're like not sure if he can be bought out or if he's on the Fed side. And like one of the premise of the jailbreak being that, maybe the local sheriff helps you escape type of thing. So I think it makes sense to like have him associated to like this backdoor drop target with the jail cell, and then like the Fed is like the main, like the jail bars that rise up, right?
So I do appreciate that we have good guys, we have bad guys, and then we have folks who can play either side depending on, you know, what you're doing, what the situation is. And there's a lot of neat things you can do within the code, within the game that can alter that trajectory.
Yeah, so we're thinking that as you unlock characters, you get different boons or buffs associated with them.
Right. That's why I had recommended that we have the kind of assembling your characters as a side mission, right? Because that's that's something that you are continuing to do. You are continuing to kind of build your team.
Build the team. Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to like skew a character your way, like early on, if you wanted like one of these shiftable characters to, you know, be an ally that later on affects later in the game.
Yeah, like maybe you build up.
You got to buy the feds off, or
yeah, maybe you build up so much money or something. You can like hit a target to feed it to them, or have it in the buck and you select it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like a get out of jail free card or
It's
something.
like influence, you know.
Yeah, I see the sketch here that Eric has. Can everyone see that?
Yeah, let me bring that up. Give me 1 second.
So Eric's got a base sketch here that I really like, where it shows Cooter McGee bash toy on the left of the VUC there. I think that's a pretty solid idea. I like how it shows the splash from the upper flipper over to the shots, kind of like Kai was saying roads, but these are like, you know, maybe attack or defense shots, because the only way to hit some of those shots is from the upper flipper. The truck is definitely going to stay in the top right corner. We're not exactly sure, but it's going to be up there somewhere. And then I see the jail written there. And then 2 shots over would be like the jail back entrance.
Is the thought that, like, say the art for the jail would largely go on the plastic up here, like jail bars or whatnot, or are you thinking it's more of just like a small icon that just kind of signifies again?
So you could have like I like the idea of having like the outside of a jail on the plastic, like maybe like an old like brick facade, but we actually have a 2-post mech. You see those little holes in the playfield there? There's 2 posts there that are gonna come up and act like jail bars.
These right here?
Those are gonna be like the jail cell bars that hold a ball there.
Okay. So yeah, you'd have like some brick around it. Okay. And maybe some cuffs or something that comes up.
Yeah, but we will have plastics above that. I like the cuffs idea.
Yep, cuffs. And like this whole plastic above it doesn't have to all be jail, right?
Right. But perhaps, okay, but the plastic would potentially be the top of the jail, because you're saying that the bars are going to be those posts, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and then like the jailbreak, like the backdoor jailbreak is the drop target 2 shots over.
Okay.
Where
so over
in
here,
this jailbreak multi-ball, you're going to be like bashing the ball back and forth to break free.
so
Yeah, I think purely for
right there.
bars or something. Potentially.
I think purely for placement, the truck might end up sitting behind the right ramp here, like where this kind of empty space is. That might be a good spot for it, because it's going to be big. It's going to take up like this full section, and it could dump out into the right orbit there like you wanted.
Yeah, well, it can dump either way, really, but I think like from a player's perspective, it'd be cool to have like the front of the truck kind of facing them a little bit more.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
We could have it like tilted slightly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Just
think
have like a
it's
slight.
a little higher?
Yeah, like rotate that truck like 180 degrees or whatever. Well, perspective's going to change on that.
The bed of the yep, exactly. The bed of the truck's going to dump out to the right orbit. I like that, because the right orbit feeds. It's a fun feed back to the.
Yep.
But you're saying the bed of the truck dump into the. Are you saying, okay, so we got to move it?
No.
I'm getting a little
No,
confused.
move it up from where it was. Just move it up a little bit.
Kind of like there.
Yeah, like right there. Yep.
Okay.
And then when we release the balls, they will dump into the right orbit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're just going. They're releasing out the back of the truck, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Out the tailgate.
Okay, so they're falling down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Good to know. Okay. So, all right. So, like again, jailbreak. Maybe there's some bent bars or something like that. Of course, that's on top of the plastics.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
out
if
the
that
back.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But maybe those bars
Yeah.
need to come down on the play field.
Well, Eric,
itself.
we're gonna have a drop target right there, so you could draw something on a sticker that goes on the
Oh,
drop
the
target.
drop target. Totally. That makes sense. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Or just do something like that. Okay. But maybe it's more bricks then.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right, and then because this is really what I need, because you guys are describing, hey, it's in this orbit, it's over here by the buck or whatever. I kind of need some visual, like, okay, where is it located? So this is really helpful. So I would say for me, it would be really beneficial to kind of go through those areas. Like I know you mentioned the mob area being down here somewhere. I'm guessing it's where these are, right?
So I think that's actually going to be our primary speakeasy where Ernie's is.
I think
Okay,
we could have
good.
a fun sign across the top there, like
Yeah. Where you visit Mabel.
Ernie's back door, or whatever we decide to call the speakeasy.
Well, and like
Okay.
we can create some sort of a sculpt to mask the shooter
Yeah,
housing here that looks kind of like a building or something,
That
right?
could be cool. Yeah.
Or a gas station combo building, whatever.
But yeah, that would be cool for the cover to
Yep.
make it look like it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this whole deal is speakeasy then.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I think the mafia is gonna be like up here with the bash target, and then for the kickback, is gonna. I was thinking like Al Capone with a machine gun there or something.
What, and where's the
So
kickback is
It's
Under
just
where
below the truck's front tire.
yeah. Okay.
There's like a bag of grain there, or a little bit lower, like that
Yeah.
blocked out section. Yeah, right
this is-
there. Yeah, that's effectively where the feed the kickback target feed is gonna be.
Yeah, the arrow right below it is the shot entrance.
this one here.
Yep.
So that's the feed for the kickback coil. That's
Okay,
gonna-
and what are you saying is going to be there?
we were thinking the mob Al Capone, because it's like the strongest, scariest shot on the board.
Okay.
Is each one of these like sectors going to have its own corresponding speakeasy?
Not
Kind of.
Because like, what if we
guess.
had like a speakeasy up there and we called it like the Gobble Hole or something like that? You know, just as like just another like kind of fun pinball-y name. You know,
That could be a fun name for a speakeasy.
So I do like Aaron's idea, and I'll go one further. If there are multiple hidden speakeasies, can we all have one A, and B, can we name it?
Absolutely, we can name it.
I think we can only do 3.
Yeah, I think the one in the back's going to be
Louis,
the
on
main
you.
hidden one.
If you guys can see the screen, my fingers are at the 2 that are not the fishhook.
The Gobble Hole is definitely a clutch name for a speakeasy.
I love
it's
it.
the number one competitor to Ernie's back door.
And Aaron, to be fair to you, that is actually going to be a gobble hole that we feed. That feeds the subway, so that'll
There
be
you go.
perfect.
There you go. You
This
did
shit
it.
writes itself. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the character placements they write themselves. Absolutely.
Maybe this under flipper shot we call Ernie's back door.
that could.
Because
Yeah,
that's the back of the buck. I mean,
I like that. Yeah, Ernie's back door is the back of the buck.
and then we just have to think of a speakeasy name for the right side.
Mabel or yeah, we'll have to think of a good name for the speakeasy.
Mabel's Stable.
Mabel Stable.
Also known as the Bang Back.
What about maybe it's Mabel Inn? Maybe it's Mabel's Inn.
Oh my god.
On a side note, there's a song called Pony, which is my favorite song.
Oh God.
Did you catch what Kyle said?
Yep.
Maybe it's Mabel.
Maybelline.
Maybe it's Mabel's Inn.
You got to unlock the secret decoder ring for that mode, Kyle.
Okay, there you go.
So tell me about the subway.
So it's kind of hard to explain without showing you the CAD that I've updated. So based on where the truck location is, We're going to put the Vuck that locks the balls back in this back right corner. But in order to feed that Vuck, we still want to be able to pull a ball out of either left or right orbit, right? So we're going to have an entrance or a gobble hole right back here, if you can see my finger. So
it's where this arrow is, I believe, right? There's a post here.
Yep.
I've got this arrow. This goes to a gobble hole, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
post will pull it out of, or deflect it out of either the right or the left orbit. And I want the option there because if the right orbit's just way too hard to hit and get around, we can like go back later and be like, okay, you can get a lock through the left side. And then
And it comes out the lower.
Yep, just a little subway feeds it right back over to the Vuck in the back right corner.
Cool. That sounds good. I had one note about the speakeasy on the right as well, for Eric over there. Because there's a triple ball lock behind there, we want 3 lights somewhere. I was thinking it would be above the play field because we already have the 2 sets of lights.
We could
for the
light up. We
target.
could have like a light up sign on the building there.
I think like neon was a thing in that time, and so I think we could do like a neon sign above for the 3 locks.
That could be fun.
Neon could work for like showcasing like the name of the establishment. You could also like light up windows to signify the lock.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
And what we're describing here, though, is plastics or toys that are above the playfield, right? Not
Correct.
right.
They're right where the speakeasy is written. They're well above the playfield.
It's just that there
Right
will
here,
be
this is the barley, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just that there's going to be 3 lights to indicate the 3 balls somewhere above.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have some sort of decorum up here.
Yeah.
Got that. Gotcha.
Heck
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the main speakeasy nailed down. I guess let's kind of work from left to right.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So the left Vuck. Ernie's back door is behind the flipper.
Okay, here's the flipper. So it's back here, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's Ernie's back door.
Okay.
Maybe you have to defeat Cooter to get access to the back door.
Could be.
Do we have a
So
rating
what-
on this?
What did you say, Aaron?
PG.
Let's keep it PG, guys.
It's
It's
the hidden
PG-13.
door,
We get
the
one
hidden
F-bomb per
entrance to
stream,
the
Aaron.
speakeasy.
So the front, the Vuck in the front, what is this location gonna be?
I think that should be like a contested, like inner city bar, or like like it's not like our nice like main establishment. That's like
What about like, so back in Prohibition, like in the inner city, there was like jazz nightclubs that doubled as speakeasies.
okay.
So maybe the front could be like kind of like a jazz nightclub, and then Ernie's back door is behind it.
I like
I
that
like-
idea
I
a
like
lot.
that
You
a
need a
lot.
front for the
Yeah.
speakeasy,
Yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
is, if it's jazz or whatever. I
Yeah,
like that.
I was thinking about the front idea for the main speakeasy as well, but I definitely think they should all have some kind of front.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's roughly what I'm drawing here, right?
Correct.
This would be the okay.
Yeah,
Which
like-
again, do you see that as something that's signified on the playfield, or do you see that as something that's up above on the plastic or something?
It'll be on the. I think we could have that on the plastic easily, but then you're making the jump shot into like through the back door or whatever. So you're jumping over it. Like, I think that could easily. We could put like a little vertical like sign right there, and the ball jumps over it, or it could be on the plastic itself.
Yeah, so like this whole like area where you have the Vuck, you have the back door entrance, you have Cooter as the bash target. This to me, like I see as like inner city where there's a little bit of battle and congestion. I think that's the word.
Can we
With
call
the
that
Mafia. So like this
Can
could
we-
be like your jazz club. This is also where you're gonna like hit Cooter and like try to fight off the henchmen and that kind of thing on this side.
What's up?
can we call that the Kyle High Club?
Kyle High Jazz Club.
Or just trophies.
Kyle's trophy case. There's not enough room on the playfield for all of them, but maybe just like the good one.
I think the Jazz Club would be also like a good place where you could integrate the Patreon characters on like the plastic as like kind of the crowd there.
That could be fun.
And then maybe like spilling out the front of the scoop, you could have like some little like exaggerated horns or like kind of, you know, band members or
I like
jazzists
that a
like
lot.
kind of sticking out of the scoop just a little bit to indicate like that's the Jazz Club.
We can call the Jazz Club Aaron's Velvet Room.
Aaron's Velvet Touch.
I'm counting.
The Blue Oyster Club.
There we go.
But you get what I'm saying, Eric, with like out the front of it, you can maybe have like a little over exaggerated like jazz players spilling out the front of the scoop a little.
Coming out of here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So horns. Yeah. I guess in my head is like there's the art that's on the plastics and above, and I'm still trying to envision what all is important that needs to happen on the playfield. I mean, it's good that we're talking.
Let's focus on the playfield for now.
Sure. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely the playfield focus. I do want to keep in mind that we have to incorporate Patreon cameos as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like plastics are probably a good place for that.
Yeah.
So the
So
next
now
shot.
the left orbit shot. I think Kyle, you had this as like the backwoods route or whatever.
I think so, yeah. So I did want some kind of a shortcut, which would tie into one of the modes that I had offered. Like you're doing your thing, and oh crap, the main roads are blocked. You have to take the shortcut, which is overrun with bandits and critters and scary stuff and all kinds of weird stuff. So I do like one shot that's just like an oddball.
With that,
Off
could
the
we
beat.
not make that one like the main road, since that's like your main shot, and then have that middle shot
Yeah.
next to the jail, the backwoods? Since
I
that's kind
agree
of like
with
a
Ernie on
hidden.
that one. The left orbit is gonna be that's like a shot you're gonna be hitting a lot of, and so that should be our main road. And then the middle would be like a nice shortcut or like the back roads.
Yeah, the backwoods back road. And then that brings you back to your upper flipper to hit some of those shots as well.
Yep.
Okay, so the shortcut is basically right here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
And then the right ramp.
Yeah, what do we want to do for Kyle? What'd you have for left ramp and right ramp?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'm not sure I'd.
You should ask AI.
Oh my God, I'd rather swallow a ladybug. I had 2 drip. Well, I had all my stuff is blown out of the water. What we're talking about. So Doc Wallace, I had with the left ramp.
Okay.
And Frankie Martelli, I had as the right ramp. But again, I mean,
I like those a lot because Frankie
Yeah,
2 drips Martelli. You can hit it from the lower flippers or you can hit it from the upper flipper.
Oh, see, I did all that on purpose. I knew that.
So those are like characters,
Fun.
but what do we want to do location-wise or thematically? Like left ramp, if that is Doc, or if that is the driver. Like, is this like the lab, the distillation? I don't know.
Who is Doc Wallace? What was his deal again?
He's like the chemist, the master distiller, essentially.
Yeah, you could collect your barley and your grains and then hit the Doc Wallace shot, and that mixes them up, or you start to distill. So he's your distiller, and then that's how you cash in your ingredients potentially.
That could qualify the VUC.
Yeah, and then the 2 drips on the right ramp makes sense because that's where the mafia is over there.
Yep.
So he's a guy that you can either get a super awesome buzz on, or you go blind if you mix them improperly.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You go blind and the screen goes black and all the lights turn out.
Yeah,
Let's
that'd be cool.
go.
You make too much ethanol and then you go blind.
The game writes itself. I'm
The
telling you.
game writes
If you
itself.
drink the
It
heads
writes
or the
itself.
tails, you go blind.
Yeah.
It's an old wives' tale, not really true.
That is true.
You're
Yeah,
true.
Aaron always tells me something else makes you go blind, but that's not true.
It's trying hard and caring a lot. Okay, like come on.
Okay, so left ramp is kind of like the distillery. Well, okay. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
So, back in Prohibition, you're doing a whole lot of backwoods distilling. So, if our backwoods shortcut is center shot,
I think the center shot should be the shortcut. I think the right orbit should be the backwoods like escape, because that's one of the harder shots to hit, and that's like your kind of getaway escape. Like if you're being chased by the mafia or being chased down by the feds, if you make that right orbit, I think that you get like a clean escape. It's going to be a hard shot, but it's also going to be one of the shots that locks the truck.
right? So maybe like you're being chased by the feds or chased by the mafia, and that is like you doing successive loops on this upper orbit.
Oh, I like that.
The escape is hitting that wider shot,
Yeah.
the backwoods escape.
Well, maybe the middle's still the shortcut. Backwoods,
Yep,
whatever. You can call
backwoods
it whatever
shortcut
we
for
want,
middle.
But
Yep.
the right side is the escape, where you get away.
Yep, I like that a lot. And then attached to characters, who was the driver? The driver should be associated
Nobody
with
remembers
that
the
shot.
driver's name.
Otto.
I don't know.
Baby
No.
driver.
It's, what is his name?
Eric knows.
Yeah, I'm looking. Well, I got it on the thing. Find him. Oh, that's Tommy Trigger McCoy is the
There
driver.
we
That's
go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that shot can be for him.
So what the getaway is, right? Yeah, this is McCoy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. The McCoy getaway.
and then for the candy cane shot, the main speakeasy, I think that should be Mabel Harlan.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
I
one.
think Mabel's definitely tied to the candy cane fishhook shot.
Where are you writing?
Is it that?
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
No.
The right
Bo-
side
bottom
fishhook.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
hang on.
she's tied with that speakeasy in the bottom right.
Where the barley
Oh,
is.
down here. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That shot. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, Mabel.
Okay.
I really
All right.
like
And so
that.
what is this one here?
Okay.
That should be the Doc Wallace. Or
The engineer, the crazy guy.
Yeah, so this is still, we mentioned the distillery. Potentially.
Yeah, I was just only thinking like from a story perspective, distilling was done in like the backwoods, like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a main thing, right?
maybe the left ramp is our two drips because it feeds that fast lane that the mafia also feeds.
Yeah, but from a getaway perspective, two drips makes more sense over here.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
wait, no, two drips is mafia.
Two
right?
drips. So two drips being the ramp next to the
Right
mafia
ramp.
area.
Yeah, next to.
Yeah, the cops here that I've got here, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So cops and feds should be on either side of the jail. One side of the jail's cops and one side of the jail's feds.
Okay.
So you got a main
so-
road, you got a shortcut, you got an escape. But left ramp, is it distilling? Like it's such a fast like shot.
You want to move your feds over to the right a little bit, right? Next to that triangle and rectangle.
That could be our driver shot. Do you want that to be the?
Yeah.
But we were already gonna tie driver to the escape shot.
Yeah, that makes sense because he's driving the wheels off that
Yeah,
thing.
he's your getaway driver.
I think the Doc Wallace left ramp kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too. So the feds needs to move over to the jail, right in front of the jail. Yeah.
Yeah. So the feds needs right where the jail is. It's feds, and then the police officers and the cops is in the back door of the jail.
Yeah,
Okay.
back door's your local cop.
Yep.
Okay, so what's over here where I had cops then?
That's Frankie Two Drips Martelli. He's the mafia fixer.
Yeah.
This is the fixer. Okay. Okay. All right. So the other thing I'm trying to figure out here is, I mean, there's so many ways we could go with the playfield art. Like, I know we're putting a character to these. Are you imagining that there's like a portrait of a character just on insert, or you imagine it's more of a bigger, like, takes up a bigger area of the playfield? How much of the playfield is basically, scenery, ground design, and how much of it is like portraiture art and that type of stuff?
So there's going to be an insert for each of the main shots, which I think would have a portrait of the character on the insert.
Okay.
My mind, so, I mean, just spitballing here. My mind goes to, for an insert, having the character name on it, and then maybe like a little bit slightly larger character surrounding it. Like, somewhere next to it or like behind it.
Could we give all the inserts hats? Like a cop hat, or like a Mabel Highland, like a little pink top hat?
Yeah, because if you're going to do art right on an insert, the scale is going to be terrible.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Like, you should make it so that like the insert represents something that like fits the character, like a badge or like a chemistry set, something like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Sure. I
mean, there should be probably some text around it because people aren't going to know.
Yeah.
A symbol or something like that.
I think you just put the name on the insert, and then like say Al Capone's a big boss. His character portrait on the playfield to me should be larger, whereas
we have a good amount of plastic.
Somebody like Two Drips would be smaller.
Yeah, Al Capone could be on the plastic here.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be if we want to do some kind of sculpt or something.
Maybe a Patreon stretch goal is more things get sculpts.
Yeah, there we go.
Or something like that, where it starts with the plastic, but then if you want to level up, you can also put the sculpt right on top.
Do we know anybody that makes indie like figurines and toys? Oh, right there. That guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun for sure.
But it was so great to meet you in person finally, like, at TPF. I don't know if you guys did the TPF wrap up already, but man, it was great to meet you in person. Thanks for the tchotchkes too, man.
Oh yeah. I was saying it's so funny because I feel like I know you guys like way more than you know me, and so it was funny because I'm watching you guys every week. So it's like, oh yeah, I think and then I go say hi, and there's these like blank looks on people's faces. Like, oh,
Who the hell are you, man? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Get out.
So I guess going back to like the characters thing, like in my mind, there's like a little bit of like an illustration of the character by the insert they're associated with, and then the insert has like a badge for cop or whatever.
Or like a wrench for the mechanic.
Right. And then like the character's name could just be illustrated like right at the base of them, saying like, here, this is Frankie. It doesn't have to be on the insert or whatever.
Right. Okay. All right. And so, all right. I think signifiers is probably better unless there's a good place for it. Again, if it's the plastic, we have like a portraiture. I'm just trying to figure out, again, just how much, like, what does this piece look like overall, right?
I think a lot of the orbits and back shots are going to be like tracks in the dirt or tracks in the mud or like road, definitely roads for most of the orbits in the back of the playfield. It's just going to be like a dirt gradient with a 2-track design.
And so, obviously, like the main focal point I've got here are is the still here with the barrels and stuff. And I think those are great because they have the pipes that can kind of point at the angles the path's going. It's like if we shrink it down like you've had me do, we can put, people here, if it's something like that. There's a balance of doing a lot of that and then also blocking maybe the design showing like the roots too. So
like I'm torn between giving a lot of guidance there and letting you have some artistic expression.
Okay.
My personal opinion is let the artist kind of dictate what he thinks fits the best.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
I think we have some specific stuff for the specific shots, and then the middle of the playfield we have to have some inserts there. But however you represent that, or however you kind of fill in the middle of the playfield is up to you. We chose you for your vision, so we want to let that shine to some extent.
As long as the characters' mouths aren't extremely open wide.
Too soon. Too soon.
So a couple, just real quick catching up on chat here. So the Madman asked, any pop bumpers? If so, where? So no pop bumpers in this game. The holes that you saw in here initially, or that you see in here in the overhead, those were for testing placement of horizontal spinners at TPF, so we could see where we liked it best. We ended up not moving it because I think most of us thought it was in a pretty good spot where it was. Okay.
Yeah, and it was fun enough that it kind of pissed you off sometimes when you hit it, but then at other times it was nice that you hit that and kind of got a lot of spins out of it.
Yeah,
there's kind of third bottle.
I like where the spinner is. We did have some complaints, but my opinion is sometimes it's just pinball. You got to have some of the obstacles there, and you got to deal with it. Like not everything's going to be a clean shot. Like we clean up the geometry as much as possible, but that spinner is there to mess with you. Like that's why we put it there.
Yeah, I mean,
I was not a big fan of it conceptually because I hate those spinner things. But actually, I found myself enjoying it because it gave there was actually some interesting English that would spin off the rubber post that was on there, and it would spin the ball out unexpected directions. So it spins so smooth that you don't feel like it just drags down the momentum of the ball. So it was better than I expected.
Nice.
Cool. Eric, is there any other questions you wanted to cover from an artwork perspective?
Well, so just spitballing is like looking at the names that we've placed across the board. The two names that we haven't placed are, in theory, they're Reed, Walker, and Pappy, I believe. And so maybe those are the guys that take center stage here. I mean, obviously we already have Reed center stage on the back glass, but if he is the main, if he is you as the player, then that makes sense, I suppose. So that's maybe what I'm thinking. There's Reed and Pappy.
Yeah, from a game perspective, the way I've always envisioned testing different recipes with Pappy is you're visiting him at different speakeasy locations. So he might not always be at the same speakeasy.
He's always hanging out at the bar, yeah.
So he might not have a direct shot, but him central of the play field with Reed could be.
I think that makes sense to have them two kind of center.
They remind me of
Donkey
Kong and Cranky Kong. That's what I'm thinking of.
Is there a light that represents where Pappy is moving around through the playfield, so we know what speakeasy he's at?
We have 3 inserts for each of the speakeasies, the little bean-shaped ones, so we could indicate that with color, really.
Yeah, we can do it on the screen too, so we can say, "Hey, visit Pappy at the gobble hole."
Yep.
Do we know size, shape, amounts of inserts that we want represented as achievements that are potentially down here in the center?
That is, I will say, your call. Now, if you need DXFs of all the inserts and you want to size and place them on how you see that fits your art, then I can send those to you.
I think he meant more of what are
how many you need.
We probably need a number of them, right?
Yeah,
what they are.
Yeah, we need to, as a team, kind of document what we need from a mode inserts perspective.
I think we should start with a dozen. There's 10 main characters, 10 modes, plus 2 for wizards. How many modes did you write up?
6.
6? I think between 6 and 12 is it's pretty broad there, but But we have 10 main characters, and each character should have a mode associated with them, plus a wizard mode or 2. I think is a solid number of modes
Yeah,
I mean,
let's kind of put that on our homework for this week. Let's go through, let's collectively compile all of our mode ideas. I know we have a bunch in our Miro.
Yeah, we have a bunch of modes.
So
So
let me throw
let's-
out an idea here. Just this might be too unconventional, but like potentially down here in the drain area where we have to shoot again, I've got these barrels lined up. Those could potentially be things that light up as well. It could potentially be achievements or modes. And so you
That's
eventually
a cool idea. I've never seen that done before.
Maybe
It's such a
that's
waste of space.
Maybe
It's always such a big empty space.
secondary
Yeah,
modes.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Or that could
Halloween
be like all
had
the
that.
different.
They have
You know what?
factors in the
That
outline.
area could be all the different like mini brews that you do.
Yeah,
With all the
there's like
different
a
buffs that you
cache.
get from the mini
right?
brews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like that use of space.
And then it could be
And
like
you
how
know
many
what I'm
barrels of
thinking now
bourbon you're
is that, like-
generating, or like your playfield multiplier for like. Yeah, we'll definitely do something with that, Eric. I like that a lot.
Okay.
It just occurred to me that like this is also where the flipper mechs and the other mechs are, and that's why there usually isn't lights down there.
Oh,
So,
fair enough.
so we should look into like where those are at.
Yeah. for
Aaron
sure.
just kind of raining on our parade here.
It's either I do it now or I do it later, man. Come on.
I think Smith said there's Halloween has something similar.
So it's in between the sling and the inlane plastic, not below that towards the drain.
Just need to alter the flipper mech so they hang lower and you put some lights on there.
I mean,
mean,
just some
depending-
washers. Just some
I don't
washers.
think we
All
need
it takes.
flipper mechs. Just there's more room for inserts then.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where it's located and how it's set up. I mean, you can have an insert under a flipper mech if you solder it.
Poke it in or anything.
I'm not saying that we want to do that, but
Sure.
No, we want a nice off-the-shelf, easy, repeatable process.
I agree.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're gonna design light boards for this, so you
can
don't
slide
need
under.
to have like clearance for a connector or a header on a board directly where the flipper is. That can just be an extension that kind of reaches under the flipper for the light.
But I guess zoom in on the playfield between the flippers, Eric. A lot of people put their flipper mechs like vertical, like kind of right between the down low where the flipper holes are. You see those two? Yeah, exactly. Draw a box connecting those two holes and then go up vertically between the slingshots a little bit.
In the FBX that I sent you, do you
More-
happen to have
more
the 3D
vertical, but
flippers in there?
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you probably have a footprint of the actual one that you can pivot on the actual flipper post.
Yeah, I think I stripped them out of this file specifically. You can kind of see what's underneath here, but
Gotcha. Okay. No worries.
yeah, I stripped it out just for simplicity's sake on this.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, we can figure that out. Like I'll let you know where the footprint is of the flippers and whether or not inserts will work on those trough feed outlane things.
I think they're pretty safe down there though.
Mostly. I think the left flipper is kind of like sticking up
Oh,
towards
yeah.
between the slings.
I have my flippers like.
And the right is kind of like a little bit off at an angle. But I'll
It
play around with
probably-
that and see what I can free up.
There's probably to some extent the player's like head angle to there is why it's not used sometimes. Also,
Oh, with the apron kind of
The
masking
viewing
it.
Like
angle.
little kids, they can't see shit.
we all have pinball machines. We can
Maybe-
go take a
maybe
look
we
at an
put-
actual game.
Yeah. Maybe you put the naughtier topics down there so the kids aren't likely to see it. Just
I
thinking.
mean, if the kids are
I'm a
playing
dad,
bootleggers, I don't think we need to worry about that anyways. But
No, it's like when you go to the grocery store and all the sugar cereal is at the bottom and all the boring grown-up cereal is up at the top. That's the same concept. I like that.
well, the Wheaties are the best cereal anyways. So
Yeah, absolutely. Amen. Finally, something we agree
Grape
on.
nuts.
Ernie.
Grape
Wheaties
nuts.
for life.
God. Do you guys eat prunes every night too?
Only after Matlock.
prunes and figs are awesome. So if
I
you
don't
want
know.
to make fun of me for that,
Sprinkle
that's okay.
on some Metamucil. Put the sprinkle some Metamucil on top of a prune.
Yeah, after I finish my dinner at 4 o'clock, I watch Matlock take my prune and my back pill. I'm out like that by 6. Speaking of being out by 6, fellas, I got about 5 more minutes.
I was gonna say you started fading like 15 minutes ago, man.
Yes, I did. Once you start, you see me going.
Kyle, famous last words.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Eric,
Eric,
how we doing?
anything
you got
else
a
you
good
wanna cover?
vision, or you need more? You have any more questions?
Yeah, I mean, this is very helpful. This is exactly what I needed. Is just somebody really walk me through where all the shots are and kind of what the environments is roughly. And I think I've got that now, enough to do some damage at least. So.
And I think anything that we didn't explicitly define location-wise, I think you can infer from character placement. You know, use your artistic expression there and a little bit of creative freedom. Do what you think fits.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask in the Discord and say, "Hey, is this the right direction or the wrong direction?"
For sure. Yeah, no, this is great. Really like it. And now, Kyle, I know you're modifying the file, stuff like that. I mean, how much of that might affect this layout? Not much, right? I mean,
Not much.
Art-wise, no.
The tweaks are really just like a 1/4 of an inch this way or that way with like target location or the angle of walls. More than anything, if you're going to be using the ball guide DXF I sent you for like defining the shots, that's going to change just a little bit, but you'll be in the right space.
yeah. I mean, it should be enough to rough something in, and then, but before I start doing final,
Yep,
Oh,
and I
definitely.
am like, if you can see the camera, I am this close to having the final version ready to go. I'm just gonna test some of those changes here physically and confirm, but it's already modeled.
Yeah, we should have a playable version at Southern Fried and Northwest Pinball Show, hopefully.
Yep.
So a couple other chances to play it and give feedback.
Yep.
awesome.
People are excited about this game. Like, I've heard so many people being like, so is this like a real game? Because I heard people were playing it at TPF, you know, and that's exciting stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to this point, we've been all talk and all stream, but now there's a physical game that was at TPF. It was at a show, and there's going to be a physical game at Southern Fried and Northwest, and we're going to have the complete game, 3 or 4 copies at Expo in October. So it's for real, a real game.
Sweet.
Cool.
Really happening.
Round table. Final thoughts. What's everyone got?
So fun to shoot it. That was the best part of the show. Like, was getting to shoot this game for me.
And the friends we made along the way.
Oh,
Yep.
they were also there.
Making
just
the
a
ball,
stick.
making
Also, and the salmon skin chips, really appreciate whoever brought that to the speakeasy. And everybody loved it so much. It was the one thing that nobody ate the whole weekend, so we could look at it.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but whoever brought those were disgusting. But
It's like they had the venue cleaned out, and it was the only thing left in the place. It was just sitting there on the carpet by
You
itself.
know what would be good in a hot enclosed tent? Some fish skins.
I like pork rinds and I like a lot of stuff, but that was not it. Whoever had it.
I fell out of my chair when I saw that. No offense if you're watching and you brought that. I'm sorry. I'm a real jerk.
I don't remember who it was, but like they opened the bag
do.
and smelled it and gagged.
I smelled it and then I ate one and I was like, okay, that's not that great. I'm not gonna put it back. I threw it away, but
Dude, it was offered to me, and I just said no.
Why?
Hi, Aaron. How have you been? And I'm just like fish skin mouth, like just right there in their face.
Yeah,
Like that's
at a
nobody
show,
wants
you
that.
have to talk close to people, and you have a mouthful of salmon intestines, and it's like no one wants to be your friend at that point.
It's like in your teeth. Oh.
Right? How many Starbursts do you have to eat to cleanse your palate after that?
Oh,
chum?
so it wasn't a me
No.
problem. People didn't want to be my friend because of the salmon.
Yeah,
That's
there's your excuse.
Well, that and you're just kind of awkward and weird, but other than
Oh my god!
I'm
Dude.
joking. I'm joking.
You're about the
Oh, that
opposite
was-
of awkward and weird, man.
That was more hurtful than all the trophy comments times 3.
Wait, do we have a chance to play the video of the interview after you won your trophy, where we got to interview you at real time? Can I play that right now?
It's pretty anticlimactic. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I mean, he's so used to it that it
Same
doesn't
old, same
faze him
old.
anymore.
Yeah.
I can't wait to catch shit for this for the next year until I win my next one.
$20 for autographs.
You know what Kyle spent
No,
to be on
no,
autograph
no
table next
shit.
year.
No shit. It is well deserved. Kyle's games are great. Very much
Thank you.
deserved, for sure. No, not you. Not you.
Son of a...
We're all winners and we're all friends until next year. You guys better bring it, because I'm bringing it. Kapow!
Kapow. Cool. So anyways, everyone who came out to TPF, introduced themselves or didn't, and played the game, or just walked by and looked at it, we really appreciate you coming by. Your feedback and being able to watch you play is why we're doing this. We want to make a machine for the community, by the community, and that all starts with you. So if you came by, flipped it, gave us constructive criticism, or just weren't really nice about it, that's fine. We're taking that to heart. We are making changes to make this play really fun, because in the end, it's going to be fully open source, all files available. We're going to set you up with, here's a kit to buy everything you need to do the thing from these 4 different suppliers. Go buy these kits, and here's a way to build your own bootleggers.
Yeah, and I think there's a possibility that we may be able to do it through Marco, where you could like buy a whole kit. So there's definitely some opportunity there to make it very easy to get into a game, learn the skills, and create a really cool pinball machine.
Yep. So we'll have everything from a one-stop shop to many stop shops. So if you want the simple solution, everything you need to buy is right here from Marco, that could be an option. Or if you don't want to buy any kind of kit at any kind of discount, here's all the files. Go cut your own playfield. Here's the art. Go print it. Here's what we do for clear coat. Go buy this and do your own clear coat. All options, right? We're trying to cover all the bases, but we want to ultimately make that barrier of entry as low as possible for people to start building their own games. With that, we are PinForge. We are a team of 7 people with homebrew backgrounds, or industry backgrounds, or location backgrounds. We have it all covered. And we are building an open source pinball machine by the community, for the community. Stay tuned, keep following along. We're going to keep doing this and follow our progress as we get this to Expo, Southern Fried and Northwest. I think that's all I wanted to say. Oh, if you want to support us, not a requirement. Like I said, we're doing this for you. But if you want to support our endeavors, you can subscribe to our Patreon, or you can donate through PayPal. Both are greatly appreciated and go a long ways. There might be like a week or 2 left to subscribe on Patreon to get yourself a cameo on the cabinet. I'll have to check the timelines on it.
I think we even got a subscriber today, right?
We sure did. We got a new subscriber today. Big thank you to our new subscriber. I can't remember your name, but you are
David?
in the...
I think it was David.
No, it was a Brian R.
Oh, it was Brian. Yes, it was Brian.
Yep. So thank you, Brian, for
Brian.
Brian.
subscribing to
Thanks,
our Patreon.
Brian.
Thank you to all of our current Patreons and past Patreons. We really appreciate your support. It allows us to keep this initiative going, and also maybe eventually invest in some better equipment to improve the streams, or make the videos better at the end of the year when we do the follow-along series. So it really goes a long way in helping making this happen. So big thank you to you and all of you who have donated. That's the financial part of it. We are PinForge. because when we build together, we forge what's next. Thank you and good night.